engine we adore is a really useful engine, you know. 'Cause the Fat Controller, he told him so. Now he's got a punchline to call his very own. He's the really useful engine we adore. He's the one. He's the number one. Thomas the Tank Engine. He's the really useful engine we adore.
Tom's branch line is full of friendly faces like his best friend Percy and Hurry the Bus. And of course Neville, who's a new engine on the island of Sodor. He's a steamy, but had a square body like a diesel, which made the other engines think that he looks odd and weird. Until later on, they realized that Neville is helpful and friendly. One day, Neville was taking some fuel and oil to Vickerstown. I must get a delivery there on time, he said to himself. This load of oil and fuel cannot be late for the diesel works. Stanley had heard what Neville said. If I were you, Neville, he said cautiously, I would be careful if I go there. Same here, agreed Percy, because the diesel engines there are not very nice. Thanks for the warning, replied Neville. I will. A couple hours later, Neville arrived at the Vickerstown Diesel Works. 3 diesels were waiting for him outside. Hello, said one of them. I'm Dan, and you must be new engine. What Dan means is that, what's your name? I'm Dot. And this is Sydney. Nice to meet you, replied Neville. My name is Neville. Just then, Harry and Bert rolled out of Henry's tunnel with another delivery of oil from the mainland. When they saw Neville, they glared at him. Who's this? Asked Bert. He looks like a diesel engine, but he's mostly a steamy, I think. Yeah, agreed Harry. In fact, he looks just like one of us. Hey, said Sydney. Don't be so mean. Neville is new here on Sodor, and we must make him feel welcome here. Oh, shut it, Sydney. Mind your own business. And for you, Neville, you better get out of here, or else. Neville began to feel hurt by what Harry and Bert said, as they rolled away to drop off their load. Don't mind them, said Dan. Harry and Bert are always like that. What he means is, insisted Dart, just ignore them. At Vickerstown Sheds, Neville was still feeling offended by what Harry and Bert said to him. Rosie and Stepney noticed this and wanted to help. What's wrong, Neville? Asked Stepney. Well, it's Harry and Bert. They made fun of me today. I'm so sorry, answered Connor. Harry and Bert are always like that. Always mean and devious to steam engines like us. And I hate when that happens, added Rosie. Harry and Bert are nothing but trouble, you know. Just then, Diesel rolled by and billowed black smoke all over the place. Not only Harry and Bert, coughed Rosie, Diesel as well. And there are a lot of mean diesels on the mainland, added Connor, like Bowler and Spamkin, except Bear, though, who is a nice diesel. Then I'll stay away from them as possible, replied Neville. That's a great idea, said Rosie. The next day, Neville was going to take a goods train to Knapford as Diesel rolled beside him onto a siding. Hello, Neville, he said slyly. Hello, Diesel, said Neville crossly. And what do you want? I came to tell you not to go to the diesel works, because a soda engine should know that the diesel works is for diesels only. And if you go to the diesel works at least one more time, you'll eventually get sent for scrap. And Diesel rolled away. Don't listen to him, Neville, said James. Diesel's only joking, you know. I understand, replied Neville. See you later, James. And Neville puffed away to Knapford Station with his goods train. The sun began to set as Neville entered Knapford Yard, and through Knapford sheds where Diesel, Airy, and Bird were resting. And the sound of his huffing puffing woke the Diesels up. Hey you, called Bert. Can you keep it down? We're trying to rest. But Neville didn't reply back. He began to remember what Dart told him back at Vickerstown and completely ignore them. That night, Neville told Molly and Stanley about his day, along with Diesel, Airy, and Bert being mean and rude to him. I'm so sorry about Diesel, Airy, and Bert, said Stanley, but hopefully they won't be bullying you anymore. Me too, agreed Molly. And you know what they say, Diesels are dirty and devious. Just then, Logan puffed up. Hello, everybody, he tooted. Oh, hello, Logan, said Stanley. What are you doing here? I came to tell Neville something, he replied. Neville, are you having the same problem as I am? What do you mean? Asked Neville. When I first arrived here on Sodor, replied Logan, engines used to make fun of me, think I'm a diesel engine even though I'm a steam engine. At first, they thought I was just joking, but later on they realized that I make steam, have a funnel, and most of all, as Logan continued on chatting with the other engines, he and the other engines didn't realize that a random strange engine backed up towards some freight cars that got left behind nearby, and he rolled away with them as fast as he could. Phew, that was a close one, but it looks like I found some new recruits to join Diesel 10 to take over Sodor. And when Diesels like Diesel, Airy, and Bert are making fun of me, I would just ignore them. That's what I did, replied Neville, and I'm sorry I had to go through all that too. Anyways, said Logan, want to be friends, Neville? Of course, replied Neville happily. Diesel lookalikes forever. The next day, Logan and Neville had become firm friends, and they're mostly seen together at Knapford Yard. Meanwhile, Sir Topham had heard Diesel, Airy, and Bert bullying and being mean to Neville and spoke to them sternly. That kind of behavior is not tolerated on my railway, he said. As your punishment, you three will be working with steam engines until you learn how to get along with them. The Diesels groaned, but they knew that's what they deserve for being mean and rude to Neville the other day. But they decided to apologize to him anyway for the behaviors, which Neville immediately accepts, and hopes that Diesel, Airy, and Bert will get along with steam engines sometime soon.